Hey everybody, this is TMG Podcast. This is episode 37.
What's up, guys?
Yep. This is Carlos, and with me is only Will.
Just me, because Miggy is in the beach again.
Miggy is, I don't know where he is actually, but he is taking a long weekend with the folks. So it's just going to be me and Will. And it's it's June 22. It's a fast month, aside from, even though the E3 happened.
And we're still winding down from E3 actually. We're still kind of recovering from E3.
Yeah, I was expecting the E3 dust to clear, but apparently it's still there. We're still talking about whatever was shown during E3.
I think this was a pretty good E3 though, like overall.
Oh yeah, I think everybody except one company did well. I mean, they showed their props. I'm actually pretty excited. Not for for the last 6 months of this year, but for next year, for 2015. Because majority of the really exciting news that came out of E3 was pretty much slated for 2015.
Right.
And the one on the second half are pretty much the usual yearly releases, which is Call of Duty, Assassin's Creed, yada yada yada, like all that we expect on, plus Far Cry 4. I'm excited for next year, especially for Wii U for Wii U, for PS4, and of course
Xbox One.
Yeah.
Yep. Well, before we get into that, let's talk a little bit about what's been going on.
Yeah, we're just there because last week we did the whole E3 special coverage, going through each press conference one by one. So
and if you haven't listened to it, go check it out. We've got it's 4 episodes.
Yeah, it's long.
Four mini episodes basically.
Episode 36 is pretty much 4 parts, and whatever press conference you want to hear, like, because we pretty much break down
each one,
like every single announcement we pretty much mentioned. So if you're into Nintendo, hit part 4. If you're into Sony, hit part 3. EA, Ubisoft's on part 2, and Microsoft is at part 1.
And like we know that there was some stuff that was not covered in the conferences, so we'll hit on that real quick tonight.
Yeah, we'll just pretty much clear all E3 because hopefully I want, like, by next week we can just talk about, there's no more E3. Like, we'll just put it behind us already and we'll just move forward.
Yep.
This will be pretty much the last time we'll mention E3. But before that, I just want to mention one game for your impressions because we're back to our regular format. I was able to, well, for one...
The other thing, the big news is the Steam sale is upon us. Oh, God.
Yeah, I know. The dust is still clearing from E3. You know, a big explosion happens on the other side, which is the Steam summer sale. So everybody's going crazy. Everybody's going broke thanks to it.
Everyone's going broke, and Valve, those bastards, have extended it past payday. So, like...
I know. It's up to July 1. So if you guys, the Steam summer sale is happening, good luck to you all.
Exactly.
I honestly, payday, like the first half of this month, I didn't touch that, but now I am touching it thanks to the Steam summer sale. And then at the end of the month, I don't know if I can stop. I'm patiently waiting for the things that I kind of want to pick up. But I already picked up a couple because I'm a sucker for 70 to 80% off.
I've picked up a few things too. Well, actually, I only picked up one thing so far, but
you only picked up one?
For now.
For now. It's day 3. It should be like what? Day 5? Yeah, when this episode gets released.
Yeah,
but it's crazy.
Exactly.
But the one game I picked up, which is what I want to talk about right now, is State of Decay. And that is a survival horror. I would have put simulator as well.
It's a zombie, like, survivor camp simulator. I guess that's the best way I could describe it.
Yeah, it's an open world game where essentially, of course, the zombie apocalypse happens and you pretty much have to survive with a group, with like a couple of people. Then, yeah, there's a story there and all that, but the core essence of this game is the fact that it's not about killing the zombies like what you see in Dead Rising or other zombie games. This one is just like, it's like a community management kind of a game. Like you have to do supply runs, worry about people's health,
right? And then you got to build up your base. It's a really cool idea, actually.
It's definitely a game. Like this whole zombie genre thing is already so
overdone, right?
Yeah, overdone. It's all flooded with just nonsense, right? There's zombie. That's fantasy creatures. Zombies are just it's been used too much already, to be honest. But State of Decay, assuming that I thought it would come out as a stale, another zombie, hack and slash game. Turned out to be actually more of a simulator in the end, which I really appreciate, and which, I picked it up Friday, I think, because it was 75% off, so that's like $5. I was so happy. So I picked it up, played it, and then all of a sudden 5 hours just went by. 5 hours. And I'm 4 a.m. playing this game, looking for ammo and pots, because I want to have
I was in the same position as you when this first came out. It was originally released on Xbox Live as a timed exclusive. And it was getting really good reviews, and I couldn't understand why, because whenever I looked at the screenshots, it looked like any other zombie survival game, right? And then I got a chance to play the demo, and it really showed me oh wow, okay, wait, there's so much more elements here. There's base building, there's crew management, if you want to call it crew management, I guess. That's not the right term, but yeah. And
upgrading your base.
And I like the fact too, if you die, the game doesn't end right there. You just basically pick up with a different member of your crew.
When your character dies in this game, he's pretty much dead. You just pretty much pick up whoever's left in your community.
Yep, and then your guy becomes a zombie, basically.
Yeah, it's something similar to Zombie U, because that was the concept that was going in Zombie U, where you do a run and then you die. Instead of respawning with the same guy, you respawn as a different survivor, and you can actually go to where you die and pick up your items, and then kill off your previous character, because he became a zombie. So I don't know. Back to State of Decay, there's so many elements in this game that if you're interested, don't bother about the images or the video or how unappealing the graphics are or the animations, because it's a very buggy game. You can only appreciate this game if you just actually sit there for an hour playing it and really just give it a chance.
I think the best way for me to describe it is if you've watched The Walking Dead TV show, imagine you're managing Herschel's farm. That's pretty much how I would describe it, right?
If people are watching The Walking Dead, season 2 and season 3, I think, is pretty, season 2 and season 4
it's pretty much like Herschel's farm and the survivors in that farm. That's pretty much what you're managing. It's the supplies of the farm. You're managing the people if they're sick, if they need help.
You have to worry about their morale. And then, you have to. What else you have to? You have to stop these certain events, these certain disputes between other characters. Send them off in supply runs, scavenge for other things, help them out when they screw up if they go on a scavenge run and find a horde. There's so many elements to on managing the community that its repetitive gameplay comes out not repetitive, because you're focusing on, oh shit, this guy needs medicine. Oh shit, we need more ammo. Oh, I have to go and get my car. Oh wait, my car is messed up, so I have to go.
Yeah.
There's so much going on in my head when I'm playing this game. As if it's a really good game out of nowhere. I understand what people say, that it's a pleasant surprise and it's one of the best it came out in 2013. And it came out as one of the best surprises in that year.
There's still support for it. I know there recently was a DLC released for it. I don't remember what it was called.
Yeah, this game currently has 2 DLCs. One was
Breakdown. And
Breakdown.
The other one, Lifeline, I think that was the new one.
Yeah. Lifeline's a new one. Breakdown essentially is, I think it's pretty much the sandbox version of the game, but with a higher difficulty. They pretty much stripped out all the single player missions, and it's made a straight up survival sandbox mode with everything from the core game there. And I picked it up as well because it was only $1. Damn it, Steam. It was only 75% off, so it came out as $1. So I picked that up. I have yet to check that out, but that's essentially what it is. Lifeline, I don't know what it is, but they say it's more of you're in a military camp and you have to hold off zombie waves. So that didn't sound appealing to me, or I'm not too sure if I got it right, but I didn't pick that up. But
that doesn't sound.
It sounds kind of generic, actually.
It does, exactly.
Breakdown most seems more interesting because the story in State of Decay is not that appealing. Like, disputes between communities. Oh, that's actually another cool thing. There's actually other communities that you have to get along with. You can either help them out, like give them food or whatever, or actually make the trade. Where I am now, I can actually make a trade agreement or something like that. Mm. I can train their people and they can give me food for it, stuff like that.
Yeah.
It's very deep. Like, I hope I see more interesting elements as I go on, because I'm already 10 hours in and I'm seeing new things as I go on. Like, I can move from one base to another base, make outposts, put landmines to make it a safe haven. I'm excited to play more actually after this.
Definitely,
it's a pleasant surprise, to be honest. I don't even know why. Like, I actually regret not picking it up the first time I heard about it. I forgot why I kind of like held off. Maybe because it was so buggy. Because if you look at it, it looks really unappealing, to be honest. Like,
no, exactly. Like it doesn't communicate well in screenshots, like what the game's about. Because it shows it's zombies and a third person guy with a gun. Like, okay, wow, like that just sounds as generic as possible as you could possibly get. But again, you really have to play it to get the feel for it. I think there's some screenshots if they show like the base building aspect of it. Okay, you might get a better idea, but those are really few and far between. Those particular screenshots.
When you use a gun, you actually call out hordes. So like any kind of noise you make, like those small little aspects that you would think that would really make a big effect in a zombie apocalypse state, happens here. So I don't know. It's a good treat. If you guys want to if you still like the whole zombie genre thing, but you want something completely unique, this is the best game you can go in. Like, if you're like sick of Left 4 Dead, you're sick of a story-driven game like the Walking Dead game. I mean, this one will definitely it's worth the money for sure. And I don't know. That's it for me though. What have you been playing this week?
You know what? That's the thing. I haven't actually been able to play anything this week. I've just been busy at work, and I've been busy watching the World Cup.
Oh yes, the World Cup did happen.
The World Cup is happening. It's still happening.
Yeah, it's still happening.
It's happening. And
I'm not a soccer person at all. Yeah.
But being like in Asia, like the matches happen for us here at like midnight onward. So being a soccer fan in Asia right now is like zombie mode, pretty much.
Oh, I guess E3 kind of prepared you for this then. Like, it's the same thing. Like, we have to watch.
Yeah, it did in a way. And thankfully, it's not like 2 days in a row of staying up because, the teams I support are plays kind of spread out, so that's all right. But still, that's been.
I heard Spain is out as well, so that's.
Spain is out. Yeah, Spain is out against my team. Woo! Sorry.
And the US of A is actually doing well.
Yeah.
The ASCOs, they're not anywhere in
Oh God, no, there's nowhere.
No? Alright, I just wanted to mention them. God, the ASCOs. Anyway, going back to video games.
Anyways, but what I did get a chance to do and check out over the weekend was the Manila Toycon.
Yeah, there's a lot going on.
Happens every year. Actually, what surprised me this year was there was quite a bit of gaming stuff ongoing there this year. So apart from the usual like toys and comics and cosplay, this had a pretty large. There's a pretty big section of it dedicated to gaming.
Oh, I should have went then.
Even Data Blitz had a booth there. Although to be fair, Data Blitz had the saddest booth ever.
Data Blitz doesn't know how to make a booth. What Data Blitz does, I've seen a couple of booths before in different events. Data Blitz just puts a booth up, puts a couple of games, and then that's it.
They didn't even do that this year. This year they had two guys there. They said they had the boxes of Diablo 3 and the expansion, and they were selling that as a special Toycon package. And then I think basically they said, "Yo, if you want to see other games, our store's over that way." Because
there's no discounts. There's one thing that Database doesn't have. That's discounts. They not have. No,
they will give you discounts though if you pay cash on certain items.
What, 100 pesos?
Yeah, it's not a huge amount, but it's still there.
Have we ever seen a Datablitz sign that says 50 off?
No, never. We haven't ever seen a style Datablitz sign, but that would be fucking awesome if ever.
But they've had anyway, that's Datablitz. But Toycon. Go ahead.
Apart from Datablitz, we had another, there was one group there who was selling, this is New Haven, I think they're quite known.
I heard about them, yeah.
On Facebook, yeah. They sell PS3 games, specifically only PS3 games and, specifically like collector's editions of PS3 games for whatever reason. I don't know why.
Hard to get collector's editions to make it?
Not really, because I was there and then they had the collector's editions there, like they had the Call of Duty, I think.
Ghost?
Not the Ghost, what was the hardened edition of Call of Duty 3, I think, still there.
What, the one with the RC?
Not the one with the RC, it was the hardened edition. Maybe that was Ghosts or Black Ops, I don't remember.
I don't know, man. Call of Duty comes out every year. There's always a hardened something.
So many collector's editions.
It's so hard to keep track of that
They had
stuff.
like the Metal Gear Solid, the collector's edition. Does that make sense? The MGS collector's edition.
Okay. So it's all collector's editions for New Haven. But what is it? New Haven is essentially a service where you can actually buy games online. I mean,
you buy them.
Yeah?
You buy them online. Like you place an order. They show you what they have. You just order it, and they'll deliver to you to your doorstep. Okay. I mean, for what they do, it's good. And if you're the collector like me, sometimes if you're trying to find a pretty hard to find edition of a game, it's a good place to look. But the limitation is they only deal with, for whatever reason, only with PlayStation 3 titles. I don't know why, but that's just how it is.
Well, for one, PlayStation's always just the priority here, regardless. And so, I guess PC and Xbox, if you find a collector's edition for that, you're actually pretty lucky. Because this country is really just PlayStation overall.
Yeah.
And when a new game comes out,
I have to kind of disagree with you there, because remember there was a point in time when 360 is still popular for the mere fact that you can still play fake games on them with a modified 360, which still is very difficult to do with a PlayStation 3, as I understand. Yeah,
it's a hassle. I think it's there to pirate the PS3 copies and all that, but it's just a hassle. And the Xbox 360 being popular is because yes, it's pirated, but to get a collector's edition because you're doing it legit,
right?
It's rare. And I would hope that on next gen we won't see that problem, so we can at least see a balance here in the Philippines where Xbox One is at the same price as the Xbox and the PS4, and it's hard to pirate. So we might get something like an Xbox community going already.
I actually don't. It's interesting to think that maybe we've seen the end of console piracy in the Philippines with the new technologies from the Xbox One and the PS4.
I see it as a hassle right now to actually pirate it. I don't know about you guys.
The only thing I see pirating still now is Vita games and
PSP.
I don't know if
PSP is still alive.
Can you pirate 3DS stuff? I remember the DS had a big problem with the R4 carts, but I don't know if that can still be done with 3DS games. I'm not sure.
I have to confirm that, but all I know is the 3DS was actually pirated the day it came out. It's possible.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, Nintendo cannot protect itself from piracy. It's just not. But I don't know after that.
As long as they stick to cartridges, it's always easy to pirate something off a cartridge.
But I have to confirm that. That's what I heard when 3DS came out. When people got their hands on the 3DS, they found a way to mod it, and I didn't follow after that. But yeah, going back to Toycon though.
Yeah, sorry. Other things we saw Toycon, the Steel series.
We went back to piracy for some reason, but yeah.
Yeah. Steel Series, which are the guys who make mouse pads and mice and headsets, pro gaming gear stuff. They had a booth, surprisingly. They had a bunch of PC set up with their stuff. They were streaming a Marvel versus Street Fighter 4. I don't know if it was a tournament, but people were playing Street Fighter 4. So that was kind of cool to see. That was kind of cool. I don't know if it was a tournament though, but they were streaming games and So for all I know, it could have been just casuals, but I guess it might have also been a tournament of some sort. I don't know. I thought it was just really cool to see these guys there, like in an official capacity, because they're one of the biggest sponsors in pro gaming for a lot of teams, and for a lot of games too, for League of Legends, for Dota, for StarCraft, for Street Fighter. So to see those guys, there in a official capacity was really, for me, really cool, because we've never seen that here. We rarely see that in the Philippines, where a big company like that would send their real presence here.
Yeah, and it's actually, I also consider it a rare occurrence to actually see an event where there's a booth and they're actually streaming stuff. Because streaming is very hard here, and I applaud everybody who tries to do it. Like, remember when we went to Imperium, we saw a couple of them streaming the Injustice tournament?
Yep. I can't
fathom on how they're doing it.
If it was streaming it or they were just recording it, but definitely they were trying to put it up on Twitch in some capacity. It's
either or, because they're definitely using XSplit broadcast software. I took a peek at what the guy was doing, and he was switching between the commentator's face and the gameplay. Right. So it's there, and I just applaud them for to keep doing that, because we're kind of behind. To be honest, we're behind on how content is being delivered to viewers, and streaming is one of them. Going to events like Toycon for video games is another thing. So I'm happy to see these kinds of things happening already. It's about time, to be honest.
Yeah. We also saw, of course, a couple of how Korean MMOs are still quite big here. So we still had Dragon's Nest Southeast Asia had a big booth there. Quite a large booth, actually, with booth babes and everything.
Oh, wow. So, booth babes. Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't think that they were still there. I mean, for the video. Okay, go ahead. Yeah.
There was, I think, Level Up Games had something going on. I don't recall the specific names of the titles they were promoting, but
I assume Phantasy Star was there.
There was. Is Phantasy Star being promoted here by a local company?
Phantasy Star Online 2, I think, is with Level Up. I have to double check, but it came out. It's now officially released here in the Philippines, so I assume that they're trying to push that in some capacity.
I see.
So I assume they're there.
It might have been. I didn't really, honestly, I didn't really take a look into those booths too much, because I ought to be perfectly honest with you, I'm not a big fan of Asian style MMOGs. Really, really grindy, and it's just not for me.
It was for me, but not anymore. I don't like.
You've had the chance to play stuff like Guild Wars 2 and those other games.
Yeah, I'm pampered. If I can't get the same thing as Guild,
you really can't go back to Ragnarok anymore after that.
I can't go back to WoW. Well, that's how damaged I am in terms of thanks to Guild Wars 2. Guild Wars 2, what I saw there, that's the kind of MMO I want. And if someone can just start copying those, then maybe I can start exploring the MMO genre again. Because I'm not gonna do the whole grindy press millions of keys to get 10 million life points down. I don't want to do that anymore. But events, was there an event at Toycon? Or did you see one during?
Apart from the regular cosplay competition, talent show, whatever, I didn't really see too many gaming related events going on. I may have come at the wrong time though, because I came rather late. So maybe if there was anything gaming related, it may have already happened and I missed it.
I should have went, but I had things to do.
Yeah, because I do remember, I think it was a few Toy-Cons ago, a few years ago, or it was either the Toy-Con or Comic-Con, IGA, International Game, IGD, International Game Developers Association, IGDA, Philippines had a panel discussion, which I attended, which was really kind of interesting to sit in and listen to. But
there's a panel there?
Well, this was years ago. So
years ago. Sorry. Okay.
This was not this year, unfortunately. But I remember I went there to sit on that and listen to what they were saying. And it was cool that it was actually happening to begin with. But the fact is, when you sit there and listen to what these guys are saying, it's still kind of depressing to see how little game development is supported here in this country. No one really takes it very seriously. And the most of the game development contracts we've seen, or successful game are mainly for, cheapo mobile games or web-based Flash stuff.
Yeah.
We haven't really seen a serious effort being made. I think there was one. What was it called? It was a Diablo clone. God.
I don't remember any studio that, like, in the top of my head right now that would, like aiming for, like, console or port or PC releases. Like, it's rare to see a Filipino studio to go for that. And I guess we just need more of those, like, what you attended a few years ago, the whole panel thing.
Yeah.
Because that's what people get excited for game development. Like, I know that there are some courses now here in the Philippines that are supporting game development. Like iAcademy has already a game development course and all that.
Yep, I know. Even Benil has one.
Yeah, like I think it's only starting now. And whoever is like interested in the gaming industry in a development standpoint, it's actually a good time to actually start aiming for that because we're starting to see education that would support you guys. And we're kind of again late for the party, but it's better late than never, to be honest. And yep. My impression with Toycon was always it was toys and cosplay, but hearing you say that there's actually some kind of like a strong presence for games with like a streaming for Street Fighter. We have.
I mean, it definitely isn't any E3 for sure.
It's not any E3, but it's a one-up for us, and hopefully I see more in the future. And I might consider Toycon next year. As much as I'm not much of a toy guy or a cosplay guy, I want to check out.
All right. Well, with that said, let's jump into E3. Let's just get our final thoughts out of the way. And
yeah,
I want to cover. I think we need to cover a bit of what was shown outside of the conferences because there was quite a bit.
Yeah, there's a lot of titles that didn't get the attention, like didn't get the press conference presentation. Like yeah. Like one that I want to mention like really quick was I am really excited for not really excited, more interested on Lords of the Fallen.
This is the Lord of the Rings ng Assassin's Creed.
No, it's not.
Diba?
It's
not.
What it's not. That Lord of the Rings game is Shadows of Middle Earth. I mean.
Oh, that's right. I'm sorry.
Yeah, the Lords of the Fallen is actually a new IP, and it's only a next gen title game, and it's a role playing game. It's from a Polish studio, which is
Polish
being
is good because Polish is like Witcher, so Polish is good.
Yeah, Polish is good, and it's giving me the whole Dark Souls feel. Like if you see the gameplay and how stuff is going on, it's Dark Souls, but with a different, like more of a Nordic setting
feel to it.
Yeah, because the whole premise is pretty much the demons just show up and they start wreaking havoc. So you play as a main character, a guy who is considered like a really badass that has done so wrong in the world, and is now chosen to go against these demons. And it's an action RPG. You level up your character. You have to change his equipment and all that. And the gameplay is like Dark Souls. Well, not exactly like Dark Souls, but I think it's more a fast-paced one. But if you know Dark Souls, then you have an idea on what this could be.
Yeah. No, I'm looking at the screenshots now, and I get what you're saying. Like it does look like how I can see how it could play like Dark Souls.
Yeah. So I'm excited to see that because you're starting to see Dark Souls effect on other games studios because now we're seeing something that's similar to Dark Souls, and hopefully I see more of that. Because right now I'm not that, as much as we have like a third game ready for the Soul series, I'm not sick of that kind of genre. And
no, I agree. I just hope it doesn't get too oversaturated with this sort of stuff because there is.
I hope it doesn't come out as bad. So.
No, that's
because it looks really appealing right now. I just hope it just doesn't like fall flat and then it's just like a really pretty game and it's just a repetitive nonsense kind of game. But Lords of the Fallen, it's only for PS4 and Xbox One at this point.
Okay, so this is pure next gen game.
It's a pure next gen game,
and it's from a Polish studio, so I don't expect this to like hold anything back in terms of like brutality or just or sex or violence.
Yeah, and I hope they can, like, just like in Dark Souls 2, they can keep the difficulty at a very tolerable level for the casual and for the hardcore, meaning, like, if you want to make it harder, then make it harder. but it's also doable for those that are not familiar with this kind of difficulty. Like, cause, I don't know, it's very interesting. I don't want to delve too much into it, but if you guys want to check out a new IP for your PlayStation 4 and Xbox One, check out Lords of the Fallen. You might get a treat out of it. And, well, what other games are you interested in? Because I have a couple that I want to mention, but I don't want to.
Definitely, one that got us both hyped was the reveal of the new id Software take on new Doom from id Software.
Yes, Doom.
And the funny thing was, this trailer showed no gameplay whatsoever. But
we just saw a demon, a machine-like demon,
and the door sound of the first Doom game, and that was it. That was it. That was all it took for us to get so hyped for it.
I was so hyped by door sound. If you guys know Doom, if you've played the first ever Doom, you guys will understand what we're talking about. Because I guess that just, when I heard that sound, I instantly just said, this is a remake. Because I just said Doom. There's no other like Doom 4 or anything. Like, it's just like, it might be them rebooting the series, and I'm all for that. And there's no other information about it though.
For now, we don't have any info. We're guessing it's a reboot. But I think it's kind of good to go. The thing is, the last Doom was really old now. It's like, 2003, 2004? I don't remember.
Yeah, and I didn't like the last Doom. Doom 3? I didn't like it. Like, I was actually bothered by the fact that it's kind of scary, but in order to fight whatever, scared me, I have to take away my flashlight and then fight in the darkness.
Yeah, the flashlight mechanic of Doom 3 was really terrible.
It was weird.
I have to agree. It wasn't very good at all.
It was very odd. But Doom is definitely coming back though. It's confirmed though they're gonna have multiplayer, because when you get Wolfenstein, you get access to the Doom beta. I don't know what that means still, but since the fact that they have a beta for Doom means that there's gonna be a multiplayer for it. And in this time of day, like, you'll always have multiplayer nowadays, so. But yeah, Doom's happening. And
Doom is happening.
What else are you interested in? I mean, what you saw out of the show floor?
Killer Instinct, season 2 of Killer Instinct, was shown real quickly. They showed, the new character to begin season 2, TJ Combo, which was the boxer character from the original game.
Yeah.
And there was a teaser at the end of that trailer for Cinder, another returning character. Me and Migs, of course, is hyped for this because he's a big fighting game guy. I'm kind of hyped for it because I like seeing these old characters come back, and I really like the new Killer Instinct. So
I kind of like the new Killer Instinct as well. And I'm just really weirded out that the roster is very small, and they're saying season 1, season 2. It sounds big, but if you see it, and if you actually see,
isn't very big at all, yeah.
If they actually represent the roster in like a Street Fighter format, it will actually look really small.
Extremely small, because I think right now the current roster is like 6 characters.
That's
6
small.
or 7 characters. It's very small, and only one new character. Everyone else is a returning character. It's not. I can't say I'm too surprised because remember this is a remake of a very old fighting game, and back then your rosters were not that huge at all, right? So,
but this is Killer Instinct coming out of a new business model. It's free to play. You can get the game for free, but you only get one character. Essentially, if you want to you have to buy the characters pretty much. So if you get the game, you only have Jago, and if you want the other characters, I'm not too sure how much they are per character, but you have to buy them. And of course, I think there's also a package to buy the first season, and then I think there's a season pass for season 2. But that's essentially what they're trying to do with Killer Instinct. The gameplay is pretty solid. I think it's a great way to, I guess, like for the fans of the old ones to really enjoy it. But do you think it's an effect of them pushing it out of the Xbox One launch window? Because I really don't get the whole really small roster. Like, it really hinders it, I think.
I think, I kind of agree with you there.
Because, like, as much as the combat is pretty cool, I don't see it as a long-term kind of a game, like a tournament version, like an exciting thing to watch in EVO, for example, like after like years to come. It really just feels like a short burst game, and then we can move on to the next one. That's my problem with Killer Instinct. That's what it feels like.
So, regardless of that, I'm still kind of excited to see what.
So they have 2 announced for season 2.
Basically 1 announced and 1 hinted.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. We had a big surprise actually with Final Fantasy Type 0 being announced finally for the West.
This was announced at E3.
This was announced at E3. This is originally a Vita game in Japan, but now apparently it's going HD and will be for PS4 and Xbox One. So Vita fans, sorry, I guess.
People are freaking out, like, oh my god, we were expecting, like, 'cause when they announced, Final Fantasy, like, that game, everybody assumed it was Vita. Like, because it was an HD remaster, and they assumed it was Vita. And then I think Sony had to literally say in Twitter or whatever social media and say, correction, this is not a Vita game, it's actually a PS4 game. It's not a handheld version. And then people just lost their minds. Why? Is it not a good thing, or is the PS Vita people just feeling gimped? Because right now I think they are. I don't know.
Like, I guess they are feeling gimped because the people in the West have been waiting for this game forever. Like, this was released, I think, shortly after 13 was released, or around 13.2 release. In the West. So now that it's finally coming to the West, but then it's not going to the Vita anymore, but to PS4 and Xbox One. I can see why you might be disappointed. You might not own a PS4 or Xbox One, and you might.
You know what they're doing with the PS Vita now, right? Like they announced that PS Vita.
It's going for more crossplay stuff, yeah.
Yeah, more. Is it crossplay? It's like they're gonna do HD remasters are gonna be done on the PS Vita, but I don't think we'll be seeing new exclusive or even third-party support. Like, the PS Vita will be there for the remote play and I think HD remasters. I don't think we'll see first-party exclusives from Sony for PS Vita anymore, which I think hinders my thought of ever getting a PS Vita now, because that just means that the PS Vita is going to have a small library come 2015. And then it'll just be more like a pair up just for the PS4. Like, if you want to play your famous, like, favorite PS4 games, pick up your Vita, blow away the dust and go downstairs and play it. Like, it's just more like a peripheral in the end. And I think if that happens, like, we don't see any more games for PS Vita, I think PS Vita is already dead, to be honest.
Which is, I don't know, I think I like the fact that there is a second player in the mobile market apart from Nintendo, which is right now, which is Sony. So if that's really how it's going to go, I wouldn't want that to happen, really, honestly.
I wouldn't, but it's already crowded enough thanks to the whole iPad and mobile for handheld gaming. So
yeah. Is there anything else that you saw at E3 that you may want to mention? I mean, there's a lot more. Like, there was a
Homefront. I want to mention Homefront. Yeah. The Revolution.
Homefront is from Crytek. It's under Crytek now, right?
It's under Crytek. Homefront is actually a franchise from THQ.
Yeah.
And it's one of those IPs that were bought during the auction when THQ went bankrupt. And Crytek picked up Homefront out of nowhere. It was actually weird that when Crytek picked it up, they were like wondering, why would you want Homefront? It was actually it didn't really do well as a franchise.
It didn't. It's true. I have it. I own the game. It's a competent shooter, but it's completely generic.
Generic? Yeah.
There's nothing interesting about it apart from the setting.
The setting pretty much is like, is it North Korea?
North Korea basically becomes a superpower and invades the U.S. in the near future.
That'll never happen, but
and you're a freedom fighter basically. Like, if you can imagine Red Dawn, if you remember that old movie.
I was about to mention that. Like, is it really North Korea or Chinese? I mean, China. Which is the real?
The original one was the Soviets, like the Russians.
Oh, it was the Russians. I thought China was the original one. Okay.
No, it was originally the Russians, and then
there was also a reboot of that movie, which turned out to be, I think, I'm not too sure, because there's a reboot with that whole Chris Hemsworth guy for Red Dawn, and it's not anymore the Soviet. It's from another country. I'm not too sure if it's North Korea or China. I haven't watched it, but I know what you mean. Like, they invaded the U.S. and then all of a sudden the U.S. becomes like they're all hidden underground and within their homes trying to be the rebellion. And that's essentially what Homefront Revolution is. Like, the North Korea has now has a foothold on U.S. soil, and whoever's left in the U.S. is fighting off North Koreans in their own way. And that's what, like, the Revolution is not actually a on-rails game. It's actually an open world game. So that's why it's very interesting for me. That's why I'm really curious about it. It's because that's an interesting thing in itself, and we're having Crytek, who is known to be a linear type of shooter, now doing an open world. There's so many open world games right now, and to see Crytek do open world, I want to see how they would make it unique for them. Because Crytek does not do open world. This is the first time I'll be hearing this, and I want to see if they can actually make it unique, not make it Assassin's Creed-ish or Watch Dog-ish. Not really repetitive.
You know what? I think it'll play like Crysis, except you don't have cool suit powers. That's the feeling I think it'll play like.
I hope it doesn't come out as Far Cry, because if that's my fear. Like, Far Cry is Far Cry, and if Home Revolution plays like Far Cry, where you just walk around, destroy strongholds, do whatever, like
get malaria, you know.
get malaria or whatever, or get audio logs every now and then and collect whatever collections. Then I'd rather just do that in Far Cry. Like, I hope they make something very unique. That's why I'm very curious about it. Like, I'm sure Crytek's a very nice, very very well known studio, a very good studio thanks to the Crysis series. So I want to see if they can do something out of this franchise, because I consider it as a reboot, because the first one it got released and then people just forgot about it. But there, Homefront, The Revolution. Is there anything else you want to mention for E3? Because there's a couple, but I don't want to delve into it too much. Like, I want to do a
few things, like, not really too many. I'll just go through them really quick. Lara Croft and the Temple of Osiris, which is a sequel to Lara Croft and the Guardian of Light. This will now be 4-player instead of just 2-player. That'll be kind of cool.
That we had two Lara Croft announcements this E3, actually.
Natsume are coming with 2 games for the 3DS. Natsume is the guys who make Harvest Moon. So they have 2 games coming for the 3DS. Harvest Moon 3D, The Lost Valley, which is Harvest Moon, and a game called A-Train, which is a transport management sim. And I have no idea what that's going to be like, but okay.
Wait, A-Train transport sim? We're getting a simulator for everything nowadays.
A transport simulator where you deal with trains, buses, routes, and all that stuff, I guess.
Okay.
And then, a couple more. Let's see. We have Cuphead, which actually looks really amazing.
That was from E3.
That was from E3. Cuphead is I think a platform puzzler game, but the art style is done in this very old school 1920s cartoon look, you know?
Like how Mickey first started out. Like, I think even when he didn't, like when Mickey Mouse didn't have color yet, like those kinds of cartoons.
Yeah, but he was black and white.
Yeah, they got that art style down, and then it's a game. It's called Cuphead. And it looks, I don't know, it looks amazing. It really looks amazing. I also want to make a quick mention to Battlecry, which is another game from Bethesda. It's
which looks like Team Fortress, honestly.
Yeah, it's a free-to-play game from Bethesda. It's a multiplayer, third-person, I guess, hack and slash game. It's coming out. I think it's coming out within the year or next year. It's Team Fortress with swords and whatnot. I want to do another quick mention for the new Lord of the Rings game, because as much as we're again sick of open world, we're getting in Shadows of Mordor, Middle Earth.
Yeah.
And that's Assassin's Creed with orcs, essentially. So that's coming out this year. I want to do a short mention. I might try it out. It's still Middle Earth, so I'll give it a chance. I want to also mention Sniper Elite V3 because I don't know. I like the kill cams. I'm actually pretty interested in this game. It's a sniper game.
It's like, I've always thought these sniper games are kind of like generic wannabe Call of Duty games, but apparently there's a lot more to them now that you've told me about it.
Yeah, well, Sniper Elite, like, I wasn't also known, I didn't know anything about Sniper Elite, but essentially in V2, which is the second game, it's very linear. You just have to go through like a series of things like, destroy tanks or patrols and whatnot. And then you're a sniper, right? And it's appealing to play this game because they have these really, awesome kill cams that when you do a kill shot, you can see the bullet slowly go to your target, and then there's like an X-ray view of where the bullet hits. Like you can see the bones shatter, and you can see
cool.
Like it happens every now and then, but it's very satisfying because like you shoot like 1,000 yards away, and then you hit it, and then you see the kill cam, and it just feels satisfying. It's a sniper game. I had a good run with it in V2. V3. It's starting to come out more, it's more deep in a sense because now you can actually, I think it's starting to come out more like an open world. Not an open world, like more hub-ish kind of a way, because they introduced like you can actually switch sniper positions, or like, because when people hear your shot, they think you're in that vicinity, so you have to move from one point to the next, and then essentially be a sniper, pretty much. So I'm excited for that, because it's not the traditional third-person shooter, and it's from Rebellion, which does weird games.
Rebellion, oh god, they're British, right?
Yeah.
That might explain a lot. We actually should get to a break soon, but just really quick before we do that, three more.
Yeah, so anything else you want to mention?
Yes.
Because
I would like to, Guilty Gear Xrd, will be releasing this year on the PS4 in fall, in the third or fourth quarter of this year.
PS4 only?
I understand it right now, just PS4 with console exclusive characters from the arcade version. So that's kind of cool.
So, console exclusive, okay.
Yeah, not from the arcade version.
Yeah.
So for fighters, we're looking forward to this. I mean, that's great news. There was a indie game called Night in the Woods that was shown. I don't know too much about it, but it actually, how do we explain this? How do I explain this game? It's so weird. Like it's where you're in a dying coal mining town, and people are just vanishing, right? And then and everyone in this game is basically a furry. Like it's anthropomorphized animals, essentially. So I think it's kind of like a mystery platformer, I guess, something like that.
A point and click?
It might be. I don't know if it's a horror game or what. Like I'll get the link to the trailer to put down later.
Okay, we'll check it out.
The final game I'd like to mention, Tetris Ultimate has been announced. Next gen Tetris. This is the 30th anniversary of Tetris. The greatest game ever, in my opinion.
Story mode.
And the original creator, Alexei Pachitnov, has been working on this one, so I guess you can't get any more Tetris-y than this.
Yeah. Like, we can see those blocks in
good lord,
high definition.
My grandmother plays Tetris. I mean, that's how awesome this game is, right?
No, we're not dissing Tetris. Tetris is an awesome game because it's
timeless. It's classic.
It's timeless and it's classic, and you cannot get bored of it because I don't think you can really. Like, you can play it, but you can't get disappointed once you turn it off. Like, you got your fix.
You get angry at it, you turn it off, and you're like, crap, I want to beat that, you know? And then you turn it on again, it keeps.
I want to get 2 more lines done. Yeah, but Tetris, that's pretty awesome. Is there anything else for E3? You want to cut off the?
No, that's it. Let's we'll take a break here, and then we'll jump into some news for this week.
Yeah, well, let's have some news. This is the traditional we're back to the usual format. Yep. So, we're gonna come back with a couple of, we'll mention a little bit of Steam news, and then a little bit of Watch Dogs is coming back in this podcast, maybe for like one more time, because there's something interesting happening for the PC version. So, we'll have a quick break. We'll come back in 30 seconds. Thanks for tuning in. Hey guys, we're back.
And we're back.
Episode 37. We are hit the news. It's kind of a light week because I think, like you said, E3 just happened.
There's a couple things that came out, and obviously Steam sale is hitting us big time.
It's upon us. We mentioned earlier that we've already picked up a few. I already picked up 3 things. I
picked up one thing so far. I picked up Don't Starve, which came with the expansion.
You never owned Don't Starve?
I never owned Don't Starve, and
it's a great game.
I played a bit of it. Yeah, it's so. I haven't had enough time to really delve deep into it, but
it's a roguelike game, and you pretty much have to don't wiki anything. I'll tell you that right now. You'll actually ruin your experience with the game. Just figure out what you have to do. If you have to worry about the rain or whatever, figure out what you have to craft. That's the beauty of the game. You have to, if you die, you pretty much learn from what you experienced from the previous set and then adapt it on the next one. That's what I like about Don't Starve. I also picked up the expansion.
Right.
That's one item that I picked up, and then the other two is pretty much State of Decay, and I also picked up Shadowrun Returns because Shadowrun Returns is only $3.75. Jesus. So I haven't touched that game yet. So I think after I'm like burnt out of State of Decay, I might jump on Shadowrun Returns or whatever game I buy.
Shadowrun Returns is an amazing game. I'm sure you'll enjoy that tremendously, especially if you have any experience with the Shadowrun world.
No.
No,
my first time. Yeah.
So well, it's gonna be pretty. It's really designed it was designed with the fans in mind. So there may be a few references you don't understand, but overall, it's still a really good adventure game.
Yeah, I'm very intrigued by the whole D&D style of RPG, so that's why I was excited to pick it up. And it was so hard to pass, 75% off, like seriously. So I think I'll talk about it next week when I really get a couple of hours in on that game. But yeah, the summer sale is already out. I don't know if my wallet can survive. Like it's gonna be out. It's gonna be done like in July 1. And it's I don't know how Steam does this. Like 75% off, 80% off on PC games. If you get on the right time. Like Hitman Absolution was at 80%, like it was like only $3. That's nuts. So if whoever wants like a really good deal for a game, check out Steam every now and then, or actually fill up your wish list. So they'll just email you on whatever's discounted on ridiculous prices. But yeah, anyway, it's moving on. I want to talk about a little bit of Watch Dogs.
Yep.
Really quick.
There was some news that came out. A modder discovered on the PC version that there were apparently disabled graphical files that brought the game, that when enabled, brought the game up to a visual level similar to the original trailer, which we saw. Or maybe not that close, but greatly improved the graphical fidelity of the game.
Yeah, to the point that it might actually look better than the PS4 version or the Xbox One version. Because right now, as where it stands, PC is actually the worst. Like, compared to the PS4 and Xbox One, PC is not a good port. It's very buggy. We know about the whole downgrade. Now, all of a sudden, apparently, all those great settings and files that make the game look just as close as Watch Dogs when it was first revealed in 2012. It's there. It's disabled.
There, yeah, it's there, and people have been, wondering like, hey, Ubisoft, what's up with this?
So the question is, why was it disabled? Why would you disable it? Is it them making the PS4 or the next gen look better, or because like in Ubisoft's defense, they were saying that they had to downgrade it because it would affect gameplay and the overall experience of the game. Like they'll have issues and all that. That's not an excuse because we're still getting that. We're getting an issue and it's affecting the experience. So we don't know why, because like when this guy delved in the couple of files, these files are like also tagged as E3 2012. Like they kept it there. Like it's there in the game. So who knows to why Ubisoft. Because right now at this point, people think the PC community got gimped by Ubisoft again.
Ubisoft has had a pretty rocky relationship with the PC community. Assassin's Creed games, for example, have always been delayed on the PC for whatever reason.
And they come out of shit in the end. Anyway.
Well, I mean, not shit per se.
Assassin's Creed 3 did not work well or properly when I had the PC version.
But there's been nothing significantly added to warrant those extra couple weeks, except for DRM, Shit like that.
You play.
Yeah, you play. Exactly. And even before they implemented Uplay, they had a very, very, ugly DRM system in place.
So what is this? What do you think? What does this mean? What do you think this means?
I think, they responded to this and they said something about like we disabled them because generally we wanted
it affects experience.
We felt it was a more of a negative experience than a positive one. They did, but I mean the fact that it was I guess that's not so much of an issue for me, but the fact that it was hidden. I don't know if they would say hidden is the right word, but why not have just left those options there? Like said, like, hey, look, why don't we can give you better graphics, but it may be unstable. Like, do you want to use this option or not? Yes or no?
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, I don't know why it's on disc. I don't know why it's on the disc. I don't know why they disabled it, and I don't know why they didn't just give us the option, because PC is the most free platform out there. Like, you can mod a game, you can do anything. There's it's not compared to consoles where once you get the disc, that's all you got. That's all you can do. I think that Ubisoft would expect modders to actually dive into the game files and see this. So I don't know why. Are they planning to release it on a future patch to see we improved the PC version via patch, but all they did was just turn on a couple of things via
well, maybe that also
files.
means that eventually we can just those options will be enabled once they can figure out some whatever is
because it doesn't perform right now.
Yeah, whatever is not performing now, they can fix it up, and then just.
But you think it's so that though? Like, the reason why it's disabled, it's something to do with. It's very far fetched to think that way, but I mean, what I think, like Sony and Microsoft asking Ubisoft to downgrade the PC version, like we can give PC players this kind of quality, but we want the PS4 and the Xbox One version to look better, because Ubisoft always in the start of Watch Dogs, they always mentioned that this game was developed as PC, as the primary platform for development, and based on what came out, obviously it wasn't. In the end, it was the PS4 based on performance. So do you think it's more of like Ubisoft being? I don't want to say that it's a rumor. I don't know. No one's saying it, but it just feels like it has something to do with them getting exclusive quality, I guess.
Maybe essentially, I guess they didn't want to. It's like they wanted to make everything kind of look the same. I don't know if the same is the right word, but no drastic differences.
Because I don't know, it's hard because PS3 is a big difference. PC there's also another difference. PS4 and Xbox One is the only one that's actually the same. It's PC, PS3 and Xbox 360 I think are in the same boat, and then PS4. It just sounds like they're just trying to sell the PS4 and the Xbox One. Because as much as they keep saying that it will affect gameplay, like you said, they can just turn it on and off if it doesn't work for them. Like, why not? But yeah, Watch Dogs, there's actually a mod already out there that would help you, or if you download it and you install it in the game, you can actually activate those files and you can actually play the game that much really close to what you saw in E3 the first time you saw it. So I'll put the link there. You guys try it out. If you think your PC can do it, run it all up on Ultra, get all that goodness.
Might as well, right? But I mean, just keep in mind that this is not condoned.
There's not enough. Yeah, there's not an official release. It's a mod that pretty much enabled what you found on the game files. So if there's problems, you have to go to the site and then address it there. It's not officially released by Ubisoft. But that's interesting though that came on to light. Moving on though.
Yeah. What else we got going on this week?
This is weird though. Nintendo is having another problem.
Okay, what's happening with them now?
They lost. They're losing. Not lost, but they lost a case against. They have an infringement case because apparently UK is. How do I say this? Their patent for the whole Wii U concept, the whole gamepad stuff, like the Wii remotes and all that. They have a patent infringement.
Really?
Against electronics company. It's a UK court right now. It's on right now. Nintendo's not doing so well, and then to the point that they have to make an appeal because what this company is trying to is asking is to halt all Wii U sales. It's very far fetched to ask that, but to stop all Wii U sales because they have they pretty much did an infringement case, and this is not the first time Nintendo's actually going through this, a whole patent infringement. Because in the 3DS when it first came out, they had a problem with that as well because of the whole 3D feature, the whole 3D effect. They had an infringement case which they won, I think, the whole patent infringement. Now the Wii U is going through another tough time, and I'm not too sure how this will come out in the end.
But so basically, the court is right now siding with Philips. Is that correct?
Like Nintendo's reasons for creating devices with a camera and the motion sensing technology is unconvincing at this point, and it's ruled against the house. I mean, against Nintendo. I don't understand like how Nintendo, because this is the second time, right? The 3DS got it, now their Wii U is getting it, and I'm not too sure if this will, because it's very wilder demand. Like they want compensation for the damages done. At the same time, they want to halt all Wii U sales.
But this is not just a dumb like Samsung versus Apple issue where they're fighting over a very minor thing, right? Like in that case, it was like Apple was saying like, oh yo, we patented curved edges, so you can't have curved edges on your phone. Like what, really? This is a pretty major function of the Wii U, and I actually don't understand. Like, this still sounds like a money grab to me at the end of the day, because. It's
what money grab? They're not doing that well.
No, exactly. But the thing is, like, it's not like as if Philips is losing anything right now from it, are they?
This is a UK court, and I guess they're just defending it. When patent infringement happens, they're just pretty much defending the technology. And I'm just wondering if Nintendo has their own technology, like all set up and never, because like all the technology, all their cool stuff, like they're getting hit by patent infringements. I'm not too sure if it's a normal thing because we don't hear it much on Sony or in Microsoft.
Yeah,
so
true.
So that's happening with Nintendo. They can't catch a break. They're trying to get Wii U to actually sell, and then now they're being affected by this. So moving on. What else we got here? There's not much going on.
Not much going on. What else we got?
Well, when it comes to the other consoles, though, the PS4 is still winning in sales, but that's to be expected.
You know what? We haven't really seen an impact yet in terms of the new Xbox One without the Kinect.
Don't.
I think that will have a big impact on terms of sales. Will it be enough to close the sales gap? I don't know, but.
No, it'll make them catch up, but when they're stating that PS4 is ahead in sales by 5 months in a row. Like it's been 5 months, and they've been winning. They've been top since I think Feb, I think. And I think we'll see. I think we'll only see an effect come Christmas.
By Christmas time, we should have seen an effect on the. Well, that season too. That'll be the time when people are going to be buying up Xboxes and PlayStation.
Yeah, it's not anymore about price. It's not about one console being more expensive than the other. It's more about what comes out more appealing. Like this will be the first Christmas where PS4 and Xbox will go head to head, even Wii U. So we'll see. Like we've seen E3, we've seen what their plans for 2014 and even next year. So we'll see what people like. What came out more appealing in the end, because whoever tops the sales at the end of the year will pretty much give them a good start for next year by 2015. And I have a feeling maybe Xbox will do pretty good because they have a lot. They have Sunset Overdrive, they have Halo, they have Halo Guardians coming out, so that's a good hype. But at the same time, PS4 has the usual. They have orders next year. Actually, PS4. What's coming out on PS4? That is exclusive.
What's coming out on PS4 that's not exclusive?
That is an exclusive. Like their exclusive, I think, are all coming out next year.
Yeah, everything that we were shown is Little Big Planet 2. I guess that.
Little Big Planet 3 is coming out this year on November.
I'm sorry, 3. Yeah, I said 2. But what do you call it? Let It Die. But that's
next year.
Next year for that, yeah.
I mean, there's nothing. We're gonna get the usual stuff, but there's nothing exclusive that would, it's all 2015.
Well, Guilty Gear Xrd, I forgot, we mentioned that earlier, that'll be exclusive.
Is that exclusive? Is that really
Sony exclusive. It's PS3, PS4, so, take that. Yeah. It's not the PS4 exclusive per se.
Yeah, so there's not, well, we'll see. We'll have to see. Because right now it's going to be the usual, like Assassin's Creed, stuff like that in October. Even like The Last of Us Remastered. But yeah, we'll see about the sales. I want to also mention, when moving on, whoever's interested, like have you done speed, have you watched the Games Done Quick?
Speedruns, yes, I have. But for me, it's not something I find super appealing.
Okay, because
that's happening though. I know there's a big community or a growing community around speedruns.
Yeah, the reason why I want to mention this is because I don't know, it came out for me as entertaining to see how like all these like really classic games or really well-known games be done like almost 80%. Like I mean, like it's a 10-hour game and it's done in 2 hours.
And if you watch them, you find out all these weird glitches that you never knew about.
Yeah, it's very entertaining.
A lot of them will like purposefully glitch through a game to speed things up, just to get the to keep speed going.
Games done quick. They're gonna have a big event, summer event. It's gonna be like a 24-hour event on Twitch, June 22 to June 28. That's pretty much a series of games played. Like they're showing like a series of games done really quick. We're talking about the classics all the way down to SNES, all the way even down to even PS3s. I'm not too sure if they have any PS4s ones, but they do speedruns on all platforms. It's not not for everybody, but it's a treat every now and then because when I watch the channel and I see for example like BioShock, then you see how there's actually a lot of bugs on that. Like you can actually skip maybe half of the game in a way. Like it's just the bugs that make it really entertaining. Like, oh wow, that can happen. I saw like a Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time. Like it can be done in an hour.
That's nuts, yeah.
Because for example, the first door on the first boss, if you do something really weird, you actually instead of entering outside to the next area, you actually enter to the final fight.
Oh wow, okay, so
I don't know why, but there's some way they figure out like if you jumped into this door, some way
you'll glitch it and then you'll go.
And then instead of teleporting to the next area, it teleports to the last fight on Ganondorf. I'm like, what? So it's an appealing show, and I just want to mention it because it's for charity. It's a charity event.
There's a definite appeal to it. I think also with the prevalence of how easy it is now to record like Let's Plays. I think the speedruns is gonna just get bigger and bigger and bigger. And it's fun to see all these weird glitches actually. It's fun to see them glitch out Mario or whatever.
It actually shows in how good they develop a game.
Yeah.
Because if they can find a glitch really easily and they finish, like the faster they do it, that means the more unpolished the game is technically. Because you find that gaps.
Because I've seen them like do Mario speedruns, and you can't say Mario was an unpolished game, or anything like that.
No, but Mario, there's a way to like skip one stage. Like you can go all the way on top and then just walk through. Like they have shit like that. And there's also like Yoshi's Island, the really old one. There's a way to like skip a couple of stages or a couple of levels. I don't know it, and it's not an easy thing to do. Like even in Dark Souls 2, there's already a speed run. You can actually finish it in 2 hours. I don't know how that happens.
I don't know how
that. Yeah, I'm just mentioning it because it's cool and it's for charity. It happens I didn't think they had a summer thing because it always happens after New Year's, like on the second week of June. They do it every year just for cancer research, and they're gonna do it again for charity. And I'm gonna put the link below so you can see the schedules. Because I don't know, I find it entertaining. They have the whole schedule here, and it's crazy. They have Kirby, Pikmin, Jet Set Radio, Earthworm Jim. They pretty much cover all platforms. And then it's mostly even under an hour sometimes. Yeah, so that's happening. When it comes to releases, is there anything coming out in June?
We have a couple things coming out still.
Because I checked before we did the cast, and there's nothing. So I'm actually happy.
Plants vs. Zombies Garden Warfare is making its debut on Windows. I've been looking forward to that because I've heard the Xbox one is pretty fun.
Yeah, they say it's pretty fun, but I'm not too sure.
I'm just not sure about the free-to-play aspect of it. This is EA again. We're talking about EA, and
it's not free-to-play.
It's not, but there's like free-to-play elements, like premium.
Oh, there's microtransactions.
Yeah.
Garden Warfare is like a third-person shooter, like a multiplayer game, right? With plants and zombies.
Yes, with plants and zombies, essentially. We got Transformers Rise of the Dark Spark, which is being released to coincide with the new film.
I don't know if there's.
This has
that.
a lot of danger of being really crappy because this is combining the Michael Bay Transformers universe with the High Moon Studios Transformers universe. I keep feeling this is just a cash grab.
It sounds like it sounds like when Amazing Spider-Man 2 came out, and then they released Amazing Spider-Man 2, the video game. Cool. It's just a copy, or just, if you guys want to, like, because of the movie, there's a game. If you want to play the game, there you go. But it has a different name though for this one. Like,
this is the first time I've seen them not actually making a separate Transformers game just to cash in. This is tying in with their main line Transformers game.
Okay.
And it's also being released to cash in with the movie at the same time. So, I don't know, it's gonna be kind of weird. Like, you can't say that it's directly gonna be like a cheap movie, like tie-in game, but at the same time, it is.
I've never liked those whole, like,
I'm a little worried because
games.
I really like the last two Transformers games, so hopefully this one is okay. You know, it's not too bad, but I'm worried that because anything that's been being rushed to be released to coincide with the film tends to be terrible.
What else is coming out? I don't see
we got
anything
Valiant
else.
Hearts, which we mentioned in our
Oh yeah, on the Ubisoft one.
That's coming out very soon. Shovel Knight for the Wii U will be coming out. That'll be for Wii U, 3DS, and Windows, which is an indie title. I think this was already released on
3DS.
No, this was actually never released. This is bleh. I don't know if this was even released at all, like earlier. Like Miggs would know because he was the one following this. But that's coming out, and I know this
Sniper Elite 3 is coming out first on PC.
Windows PC.
I don't know. It's coming out on consoles at a later date, but I don't know why I'm kind of excited because I kind of want to play it. Maybe because the inner sniper in me wants a sniper specific game, and just mow one down, one by. I don't know, but it's coming out. The Divinity Original Sin, which is, I think it's an action RPG, is also coming out. There's not much coming out, I think, for me in terms of like what I'm aside from a Sniper Elite 3, like all the way down to August even. Like July even feels kind of dry. Like, is there anything that's like you'd like to mention on July?
Nothing really that I'm seeing right now in the releases.
Oddworld's coming out on PS4.
Guacamelee Super Turbo Championship Edition. If you haven't played Guacamelee, this is it's a good chance. This is a updated release of it, and it's a pretty fun side scroller. So if you want to pick that up, Last of Us Remastered for PS4.
Oh, so that's when I have to get a PS4 in July. Okay, it's good to know. But I think that's about it in terms of release dates. Like Dark Souls 2, there's a DLC is coming out. There's actually DLC for Dark Souls 2 for those that want more content out of that game. The first one's coming out at the end of June, I think. No, it's July. It's a 3-part DLC for Dark Souls 2. The first one's coming out in July 22. And then the rest will be coming out a month after that. And it's a 3-part DLC. And I think that's about it. Is there any other news that we want to mention?
I do kind of want to sort of bring up the fact that about Steam sales and how bloody ingenious Gabe is for how the sales are handled. Essentially,
is it really ingenious or it's just
it's evil? It's evil to my wallet, but
I still think Gabe is just like the son of Satan or something. I don't know how he's doing it. Gabe Newell, the owner of Valve.
The owner of Valve who will never ever give us Half-Life 3.
Yeah, and apparently whatever they do, even though they're not giving us Half-Life 3, they're doing something great always.
Amazing. Be it like freaking Steam boxes or
Steam OS. They're always doing something different. Yeah.
But yeah, go on, sorry.
No, but yeah, when it goes to the Steam summer sales, is there, what's the highest you've spent? I want to ask you that.
Well, not on one product, but I think I've spent
on one.
In one big buy, I think maybe like
no, not one big buy, on one big sale. Like it's the holiday sale, and I spent this much.
Yeah, about $100. Like I think I've spent $100, maybe a little more than $100.
Oh, sale. Really?
And that was like
I don't feel that bad anymore.
But that was like 10, 11 games. Like boom, big sale, right? Like picking up everything that looked interesting.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like because of these big sales, like $100 can garner you 11 games and increase your backlog by tenfold.
No, and if you think about it, like, frick, it's an incredible deal. You're paying $100 for 11 games. Like you'll be lucky to get 2 games for $100 nowadays.
Oh, that's right.
Like big budget games. And then the other thing is like these sales allow you to check out games that you would probably may have been on the fence about.
Yeah.
But like Terraria right now, I'm looking at it now, is $2. And
Will you play it?
I'm thinking if I want to. No, that's the thing. I've never ever considered this game, but for those who have been, I'll give you an example from my wish list, because my wish list contains games I want and then games I'm on the fence about picking up. I have a game here called Lifeless Planet, which is an indie game. It's 20% off right now. But if it ever goes, but like the Metacritic rating for this game is like 60, around the 60s area. So It's not exactly a great game, but if this game goes to the 50,
a great game based on like reviews.
Yeah, but if this game is the 50% to 70% off, then okay, I might consider it for that, because then it would be like $3. And I don't feel too bad wasting $3.
That's the thing. Is it a bad practice? Like, yes, we're all saying that I don't feel like I'm okay with wasting $3. I'm okay with wasting $2 or like $5. Just $5. Like it'll be fine. And then we never play it. And then months go by and another sale is, I want to buy this too. Because it happens, and that's the mentality of it. Like, we're buying games just because it's not because we want to play it. It's because we might just play it
down
in the
road.
future, and we just saved money out of it, because we're talking about like these sales are mostly 75% off if we get at the right time.
Yeah.
Like, I think what's the last one? I think June, the last summer sale, the Christmas one.
The Christmas sale, yeah, it was the Christmas sale, the New Year's and Christmas sale, right?
Yeah, I wasn't much of a sale before, but now I'm really I'm much more of a Steam player now. I buy games via Steam, and if I see my list, there are games where I bought it just because it's cheap, and I thought I was gonna play it in the future, but I never did.
No, that's true. I'm in the same boat as you. Like I have a game here called Frozen Synapse, which I don't even.
That's always cheap, yeah.
I don't even remember when I bought it, but like
it's there.
It's there. Yeah.
Like, I have Fez. I have 52 minutes played on it. Like, I just bought it because it was $1 or $2.
I see.
And I'm like, it's a cool game. I want to buy it. I'll play it in the future. I never did. Sleeping Dogs was super cheap. I played it, but I never finished it. I had, what did I have here? Hotline Miami. I bought it via in-game wallet because I sold all those damn cards, those damn Steam cards. And it was like only $2 for the Hotline Miami, so I used all that money there.
That's the other thing, huh? That's the other thing they added now. They added bloody trading cards to the Steam sale. Like,
yeah, and then every sale they have a specific gimmick.
Yeah, like
that would garner them.
Now there's a race basically, like green team, red team. What team are you on? Have you checked?
Blue.
Blue. I'm in green team.
Yeah, I can see it right now.
Green team, I don't know what the heck green team is doing right now, because green team is like way out ahead.
Yeah, this summer adventure for those PC, like it's kind of a way for you guys to spend more money in a sense, because if you like, it's a collection of players in one team and that gather points. The team with the most points overall will win that day. Yep. And the winners pretty much, like 30 members in that team will win 3 games from their wish list.
Right.
That's very strong incentive to do it. And to get points, you have to craft a badge, buy games.
You have to basically craft a badge by collecting the trading cards. And you get the trading cards by buying games.
Yeah, you get the trading by buying it. If you buy a game that exceeds $10, you get a card. And if you vote on their damn community poll or whatever 3 times, you get a card. And if you get 10, if you complete the set of cards, like 10 sets for this summer, you get the badge, and the badge equal to 10 points. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Like, all that effort just to get points, just for that slim chance of getting in-game, like, items, like, or free games in your wish list. And if, honestly, in the end, like majority of the people will just pretty much spend more money and won't get what they want. And they do this every single time. There's always a gimmick. There's always something.
And now it's worse because now you can get there's sales on early access games. So
yeah, there's a sale for a game that's not even out.
And that's already been, like, if you listen to us, we already been, like, shown that our opinion is that this practice is a bit on the gray area, right? Like, you're selling incomplete games, which may not ever even get finished, in some cases.
Yeah. For those who don't know early access, it's in Steam. These are developers that are sending their games that are half-baked. Like, they're still in development.
They're not half-baked. I mean, that's not, they're still in development, which...
DayZ is half-baked.
Well, it's half-baked because it's not yet done. That's the thing. But the thing is, DayZ has been in development for years now. At least 2 years, I think, right? But
isn't that even bad? It's a bad example enough. Like,
that's exactly. It's a good example of what can go wrong.
Like, you buy that.
Because if you buy DayZ now,
you're forever a beta tester.
Yeah, if you buy DayZ now, like, you have no guarantee that the game will ever be finished, right? You might be stuck with an alpha forever. Which is why I'm very, very, very cautious about early access. I do actually own DayZ. I'll have to.
That's the reason why I'm not buying it. I'm kind of interested in the whole online play on DayZ.
Yeah.
But I want them to say that 1.0 of that game is out. I want to get that early access title out of that product. But yeah, the Steam summer sale is not. It's not. I think it's just a bad practice in general. Like,
really, you think the summer sale? Or are you talking about early access or the summer?
No, everything. No, summer sale not in general, because yes, you own the game, but you're not buying the game because it was appealing to you. You bought the game because it was cheap.
It was dirt cheap, right?
Yeah, like you didn't buy it because oh my god, I like this developer. Oh, I like what they're doing. No, I was like, it's a zombie game. It's only $3. I'll buy it. Or I finally want to get Call of Duty or whatever. It sounds for you. Like it wasn't a grab because of the game. It was because it's on sale, and thus, there's that slight chance of not playing it because you just got it on sale anyway.
I actually really also am like how I work with how my.
Like I have Rochard. It's an indie game. It's a 2D, 3D platformer. I got it because it was cheap.
But I
don't remember what it was about.
Have you noticed how your buying behavior has sort of changed also when it comes to Steam? Like now, if there's a game I kind of want, like there are games that you really want that you buy right away regardless, but there's also games that you just like that game looks really cool. I kind of want to play it, but you're not so like ready to jump in. You tend to just add it to your wish list and just wait for sales.
Yeah,
that's that's how I've noticed my buying behavior now for these games. It's like I will never buy anything
for Steam.
I will never buy anything digitally like right away on Steam. I will always wait for a fucking sale now before I purchase it.
Yeah, the buying mentality now on digital is very different thanks to Steam because, like, I bought Transistor on day one.
Right.
As much as I enjoyed the game when I bought it, it's kind of painful when you see Transistor like in the future it's 75% off. It's only like $3, and they're like, I could have waited. Like I could have survived. But then again, it's just weird. Like we think a game is worth buying when you see that 75% off.
I see.
Because even 50% off, like Walking Dead Season 2 is 50% off right now as we talk about this, and I'm still kind of wary. And I'm a fan of Walking Dead Season 1, but because I might get it even cheaper maybe in the future, 'cause I don't really want to play it right now. Like,
right.
It's not fine.
Because
it's weird. Like 50% off is not enough for me to like 75. Like that's the difference. Like not only do we buy games just because it's cheaper, but we buy games. We only consider buying games like instantly once it's 75% off, not 50. 50 seems kind of weird already.
50
when it should, when essentially
50 too much still,
Yeah, when essentially it's actually pretty good because it's 50 off. So, cause like Payday 2, it's like we see it at 50% off, but we think that it just might come out at 80%. And it did at one point. Like yesterday, it came out 80% off. Like Steam, like Gabe plays with your money. They have it. They have it in your hand. Gabe has your money.
Gabe is like Scrooge McDuck. Like he's swimming in a vat of money, basically.
Yeah, I know. But the Steam Summer Sale, it happens like I don't know every 6 months. Like it happens on summer, it happens on Christmas, and then rinse and repeat. Yeah. I'm not too sure. There's an autumn sale. I think there's an autumn sale.
Well, you know how Steam also have sales pretty much every week. There's going to be.
Actually, they have a sale every single day.
Yeah.
Like they have a weekend sale. They have a midweek sale. They have a daily sale.
And then the weekend sale.
Yeah, the weekend sale, and then they have like free games to play for the weekend. Steam is messed up.
Steam is amazing.
Yeah.
You love it, but you hate it.
Whoa, yeah, Steam, I love /hate, really.
My wallet hates Steam. I love Steam.
God. I bought 3 games right now, and I doubt that's the only games I'll buy.
You've already bought the games. But,
yeah.
No, I don't, I kind of have to say I disagree with the idea that it's a bad practice overall. I mean, you would, if I were in Gabe's position, I'd probably do the same thing. It's like, yo, more money for me, and I'm, you're, in a way, you're giving your customers what they want, cheaper games, right? So everyone wins. In that sense. I guess
developers get their money.
I guess what makes it frustrating is that he's selling them at a price where it's just too good. Like, you cannot not buy it.
Yeah.
And sometimes you're at the point when something seems, it's so good, but you just don't have money anymore. You have no money. You sucked it all up.
And a good point for these summer sales is, the indie scene is pretty strong right now. There's a lot of independent developers out there. Having a $15 game or $20 game for like maybe a 3-4 hour experience, it's a really hard sell. Because of all these games that are open world, sucks up 30-40% of your day, of your life. Like Call of Duty, like it's like an everyday thing. You can keep on playing it over and over. But there's these really unique experiences that feel expensive because it's like not enough content. Once they go on sale, like for example Bastion or Gone Home, Papers, Please, if they go on sale, people like those are. On paper, on screenshots or in gameplay, they don't seem appealing. But because it's cheap and people say it's good, they might consider it, and then they become fans. So that kind of process of them getting the word out and getting their games like highly recognized, get recepted really well from the user community is I think it's a good plus because now they gotta try it. They gotta try the game.
Yeah, exactly. You get to try the game. There's not too much, and again, it's at a price where, like, you don't, like, even if it's a bad game, like, you don't feel terrible about it.
Yeah, because I'm sure there's a lot of people say, like, for example, Stanley Parable was a great game.
Right.
But people will not, like, it's a story-driven game and all that. But a lot of people will not buy it because they don't want to buy a story-driven because it's 15. But if it goes on sale for 75% off, and they heard it was good, they'll try it because it's cheaper now, and then they'll appreciate that studio who made it. And then in the future, when they have more independent titles on the same developer, you might get you have now that guy as a fan, and he might actually consider it on day one. You know what I mean?
Right.
Just like how Transistor, there's a huge fan base already for Transistor because Bastion was just a huge success, and there you go. The AAA, if you notice, the AAA titles in Steam, they never go 75% off unless it's Square Enix.
No, actually, I've never noticed that.
Because I've never seen an Assassin's Creed really cheap. I'll tell you that right now.
Is Assassin's Creed even available on Steam? I thought you needed.
It is.
Oh, okay.
Black Flag is like 40% off, and that's all I can see. 40% off. And that seems expensive for me.
All right, I didn't realize that. I've seen. Well, would you consider?
AAA?
I saw the Batman Blackgate game available at 75% off earlier.
That was the game. That was shit. That was Arkham Origins.
Not Arkham Origins. Arkham Origins Blackgate, like the mobile HD, the mobile game that got HD'd up.
Oh, okay.
So I don't know if you consider that AAA or not, but.
Yeah,
but like most PC AAA titles tend to get the same. Like Age of Empires 2 HD edition is 75% off now.
Yeah.
And that's a AAA. I'd say that's a AAA at least PC title. But I get what you're saying. Like it's like the multi-platform AAA ones that never seem to get
the really high.
Yeah. But even like this kind of makes me sad. I'm just looking at what's on sale now, and I can't believe how many zombie games there are. You know, just on sale right now. There's Project Zomboid, there's Contagion,
I think
there's
that's
7 Days to Die, which are all zombie games.
And Terraria technically has a zombie.
Oh, does it? Okay, I didn't know that.
It's not a zombie game, but they have a zombie, so that can count, I think. Yeah, I get it. I think it's a zombie theme, I think, more overall, actually. But then again, there's Skyrim. But Skyrim has zombie. Anyway, yeah, there's a lot of zombie games. There is a lot of zombie games. I really think that whole zombie fantasy creature is just completely overused. It's time to bring back the zombies. But I think is that it?
Yeah, that's it. I think that's it for the week. Not too much as far as news goes. We were able to wrap up E3 finally for the year. Overall, great E3 again. I'm a little bit sad that there was no mention of anything for PS3 or Xbox 360 anymore. I thought it was a little quick how fast the last generation was already forgotten, but I guess that's to be expected in a way.
I think we'll see them on next year because as much as we think, well, I don't know about Xbox 360, but the PS3 I think we'll see a little bit of support next year. Because right now it makes sense. They're just pushing the next gen consoles.
Right.
That's just their focus. So we might see a little bit of support by next year. We'll see VR. VR will be crazy next year. I just don't know how they're going to present it. But yeah, overall E3 was a great event. It was all sides, actually. All companies did well. It's really exciting to see. Not, like I said, like in the start of the podcast, not this, like the last leg of 2014. It's more of next year. It's all those cool games coming out, like The Witcher 3, Order 1886. Like, I'm still pretty interested in that stupid, Remedy entertainment game for Xbox One.
Oh gosh, yeah, what was that one called?
The Quantum Break.
Quantum Break, yeah.
It did not show.
Which did not show up, actually, and then we didn't see again, excuse me, The Last Guardian. We don't know what's going on with that.
It does not exist.
You think? I think it's still somewhere there. It's in the realm where Duke Nukem 3D was, Duke Nukem Forever was, for a while.
Oh yeah. You never know, maybe Gearbox Software might pick up Last Guardian.
Oh god. we'll have they'll throw in cameos by the Heavy from Team Fortress and and the Portal Girl, but whatever.
Yeah, but I think that's it for episode 37. I think it's a regular for next week. It's gonna be the usual. We're gonna have Miggy back, hopefully. I'm not too sure we can have another spontaneous event. But thanks for tuning in. We have an episode every week, every Tuesday. Last week was just because it's E3. I don't think we'll ever see a 4 episode on 1 week anytime soon. But if you want to check out our E3 coverage and our previous episodes, check us out at www.toomuchgaming.com. That's 2 with the number 2. If you like what you hear in this podcast, we're in iTunes, so do subscribe, rate, and comment if you have any concerns or anything like that. If there's a specific topic you want us to tackle, you can email us anytime. Or if you have a question for us, actually, you can email us at the tmgpodcast@gmail.com. So I think that's it for episode 37. No, I don't think this is the last episode for this month. It is not.
We got one more to do, and then we'll be done for the month.
Thanks for listening in. We'll see you guys next week.
Yep, catch you guys later.
See ya.